Willie. What's a joke?
You asked the question. I'll go ahead. There's a lot of things that are jokes. Go ahead, ask it. I'll get it out of the way. But you need to ask the question.
Willie, you were ejected obviously today in the game. You said you were ejected today during the game. Do you mind just taking us through that sequence? Exactly happened. It's a little bit hard to figure out from the press box.
I'll sound off on it, guys. First of all, it's not the umpire's fault. They're doing their job, but whoever made the rules of this pitch clock stuff are destroying the game of baseball. And I'm not afraid to stand up and say it. I've been around the game for a long time, and I don't tout that, guys. You guys know me long enough. But enough's enough. Quit screwing with the game. This is an absolute joke. And I'm tired of it. They continue to screw with our game and destroy what has been a great game for a long time because they want to speed the game up. It's a joke. What's the problem here? You got 20 seconds, and the problem was our pitchers got on the rubber and then stepped off and then got back on. Apparently that's a reset. Now I was never made aware of the reset. Apparently you get one per hitter. So that's the one complaint I have with the umpires. I didn't know there was already a reset called. And then the next pitch was a ball. I wanted an explanation of what was going on. My whole argument is who cares if he steps off as long as he gets the pitch delivered within 20 seconds. Because that's the whole thing of this whole thing is speed the game up apparently. Am I missing something on that? And if he can step off the rubber and then step back on and get the sign, deliver the pitch in 20 seconds, then what the hell's the problem? And apparently that's the problem, is that you can't step off. So you can never step off the rubber, even if you get sunscreen in your eye or there's a medical, let's go as far as saying there's a medical thing. You can't step off the rubber ever? It's a joke, absolute joke. And what it does is it puts the umpire in a bad situation and it puts me as a coach in a tougher situation. Because they're screwing with the game to the point where they're destroying it. And they're making things up to appease people that can't sit for a game for more than 2 hours. And to me, it's an absolute joke. And whoever made the rules and sat around in their committee and made this rule, whoever's on it, I would love for them to come forward and say, give me your reasons, talk to people that have been around the game and ask anyone if they like this. I don't like it. I've been, again, not to be on my perch, but I've been around the game a long time and I don't know anybody that likes this stuff. So what are we doing here, guys? Why are we screwing with our game? It's a great game. So that's my sound off on it. I don't like it, clearly, and I'm not blaming the umpires today for that, but I needed to speak my piece and say, well, he's getting the pitch delivered within 20 seconds. What's the problem? And they're doing their job, I'm doing mine. And at the end of the day, all this rule stuff is to try to eliminate ejections and all this stuff. And for me, it's like, you're pissing people off is what you're doing. And I'll be the first one to say you're pissing me off because this is stupid. We've gone to electronics, wristwatches, and reader boards and everything in our dugout. It's all a big freaking joke. What happened to giving signs and actually trying to play the game within the game? And for me, they've destroyed it all. So they're getting what they want. And for me, it was more of a frustration thing. The only thing I was disappointed is I was not made aware that we already used our reset already. It's like we need some verbal that we've used our reset, so the next time it is a ball that we know that. And for me, I didn't get that, and that was what I was most upset about. But do I blame the umpire? No, absolutely not. He's doing his job, and for me, I think the rule is a joke, and I think the umpires think the rule is a joke too. At the end of the day, did that lose us this game? 100% no. But you asked about the rule. I'm saying I think it's a joke.
So just to clarify, a pitcher can't disengage the rubber even if it's to avoid a balk, or even if a runner goes when the pitcher's set?
That's what I was told. And apparently, even if a base runner bluffs and the pitcher is taught to step off the rubber, and if that base runner goes back to the bag and you don't make an attempt to throw to the base, it is your reset and a ball. Which again, riddle me that one, how that makes sense in this game. It's been played this way for this many years, that some guru is going to come and change our game that way. It's a disgrace. And if I'm speaking to whoever made the rule, you're an absolute joke. And I would tell you to your face, it's an absolute travesty to our game.
To kind of piggyback off that, do you feel that even in this, like age, more so, I get what people saying about the major league game, but a lot of college players, just in general, I mean, they're faster on the mound, they're faster staying in the box. You feel like it's more of an indictment on college baseball because of what's going on in Major League Baseball?
I'm not sure. You know, we try to teach our guys tempo regardless. I get, you know, if a guy is walking around the mound between every pitch, obviously, come on, man, pick it up a little bit. But the game polices itself when it comes to that. And for me, it's, you know, you're putting guys at risk that they don't have time to regroup between pitches, and their max effort between every pitch, and they don't have the time to regroup and gather themselves, and they get fatigued quicker, and they're wearing guys down quicker. You know, there's no chance to reset ever. And to me, you're putting not only the health of guys at risk, but you know, congratulations for making the game 2.5 hours instead of 2 hours and 45 minutes. To me, I think you know where I stand on it. I understand those are the rules, and we got to learn them and cooperate by them. But like I said, what geniuses sat around a table and decided this was better for our game, you know, I would love to sit down and talk with them.
Lots of free base runners given up today on hit batters, especially as well. That's kind of one of those things where maybe sometimes guys feeling like they're sped up probably contributes a little bit to that. But what do you feel like that issue how do you feel like that kind of got out of control today?
Well, I mean, you know, I'm not going to make excuses for our guys based on the pitch clock, because we've been practicing it all fall, we've been practicing it all spring. The bottom line is we gave up 13 free bases today between hit guys and walks, and you can't expect to win games that way. And I know I sound like a broken record because I've preached on it before. Bottom line, our pitchers got to get better. They got to attack this, and they can't quit. They can't come in, and I'll be the first to admit I botched probably the call by bringing in Peary against the lefty right there. You know, Curtis talked me into let him stay out there and face the guy. He got the guy out, the right-hander out. I debated on going and getting Brock, but I'm like, okay, he got that guy out. He's deserved the right to stay in here. And then you could just see he ran out of gas on that next hitter. And then it's like, well, what are your options here? Go to Brock, who's got a good sinker, and so I went and got Peary. But at the end of the day, you know, hit the guy on the first pitch. You know, things unravel a little bit from there. 8th inning, we hit 2 guys, lead off the inning, walk the next guy. You know, live dangerously. Eventually, you're going to get burned. So that, you know, that stuff can't happen. We got to be better than that. So I knew at that situation in the game that, you know, and even though it was only the 5th, I thought that was the big turning point of that game, which is why I went to Brock right there. And that's a guy we trust in big situations, and I thought if he could put us up a 0, I knew we were going to score. I knew we were going to score late. I had a feeling we were going to put runs up late on those guys, and you know, ultimately we did. But you know, at the end of the day, we gotta eliminate the free bases.
Were you set on bringing in Owen at the start of an inning?
I wanted to, yeah. You know, Owen is more of a starting pitcher that I want to try to give him a clean inning. You know, Brock is used to coming in. We've talked about it. He's used to coming in high leverage situations. I said, man, that's your role. It might be in the 5th, might be in the 9th. You're coming in high leverage. When I feel the game is in balance is when you're coming in the game. And so you got to be ready for it. 2nd inning, 5th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning. You know, so those are the guys I trust in those big situations, and you know, we got to do a better job in those big situations.
Obviously, the big inning in the 9th, fueled by the walks, and you know, guys showed a little bit of resolve. It seemed like, and kind of started stringing things together. But obviously, too little, too late. Have you had conversations with guys about like, hey, let's have an inning like that, but you know, it's important to kind of make sure we're able to do that consistently as opposed to waiting till the very end of games for that to happen?
Well, you know, I think that it's good to see other teams struggle with that as well, and how we put together our crooked innings are by a walk, a batter. You know, that's how the rally starts, and so it's a good learning tool for our guys. Hey man, it doesn't just happen to us. How do we put up our crooked innings? It's a walk. It's a guy that can't find the zone, and we got to be patient and let him hang himself. You know, that type of thing. So, you know, I am proud of the guys for battling there in the 9th and not giving in and bringing the winning run, putting the winning run on base and the tying run in scoring position. You know, I don't think our guys are not going to quit. So from that standpoint, I'm proud, but on the other hand, you know, that game's over if we can just put up a 0 there and then not give up 3 bases, you know, the inning before.
We've talked a little bit about Toby before, but seems like he's really been heating up over the last 3 games. Lots of big hits, doing a job with guys on base. Is that him? Is that just growth you've seen from him, or like what's really clicking for him this year that maybe wasn't last year?
You know, Toby clicked quite a bit last year too. You know, got up to a little bit of a slow start, but look, we're 10 games in. You know, I mean, guys are gonna. 10 games is kind of a blip in the radar, really, at the end of the day. So, you know, he wasn't hot right out of the box, but you know, he's starting to find a swing a little bit. And again, we got to be ready from game 1, and we don't really have, you know, we don't have a spring training to get ready for the season. It's, you know, game 1 is a playoff game, you know, from the first night out. So we got 56 playoff games that we play basically. And so, you know, when a guy gets off to a little bit of a slow start, it's magnified. But, you know, I got confidence Toby's going to find his swing. I got confidence that, you know, all these guys that have started off a little bit slower than they would like they're going to find their swing. It's going to happen. Campy and Luke Keishel, those guys are our horses, man, and they're going to get it. You know, they'll figure it out. And but it's just a matter of, you know, hitting the reset button and getting the pitches in your zone that you're looking for and being ready for it, you know, and not chasing out of the zone. That's to me the biggest thing that early on, that if we could fix that part from an offensive standpoint, not chasing out of the zone, we're going to be in much better shape.
Last night you talked about concentration with the, you know, at the plate and throughout the game. Did you feel like maybe during that 3rd inning when Cooper Robinson came in that the team started to get a little bit more concentration in the play? I think they tacked on about 3 runs while he was in the game.
You know, I don't know if it was, you know, the guy that opened for them, you know, Kelly, he seemed to have some decent stuff and was pitching us tough. You know, he got out of there. It was, you know, Robinson came in. I don't know if it's based on overall stuff or what it was, but we put together a lot better at bats off of him. Got the ball up in the zone a little bit better. So, but if, you know, if we can take that approach, you know, from inning 1 all the way through inning 9, we got a chance to string things together.
Looking at Curtis, command was a little bit spotty, as you sort of alluded to, particularly in the 5th when things kind of spiraled for him. But it also looked like UCI was just kind of squaring balls up really well. What's your sort of gauge on his start? What is your assessment of it?
You know, it was UCI's got a lineup that they make you earn every out, and you know, if you're not hitting your locations, they aren't gonna strike out much. You know, I don't know how many times they struck out today. It was 7, I guess, but you know, they got a good approach. They get up on the plate with 2 strikes. They make you pound the zone. They make you hit your spots, and if you don't, they're gonna get you. So to me, you know, we have to just execute a little bit better. And I think it all goes without saying, Christian Curtis has electric stuff. You know, if we can execute better and hit our spots a little bit more, keep our pitch count down, and be more efficient early in the games, he's going to be able to extend a lot longer. But you know, those guys make you earn it. So you know, it's button your chin strap and get ready for the challenge. That's what type of team they are.
Thanks, Willie.